Hi guys, welcome. This is going to be a daily general read. It is going to be just for anyone that's needing it or feeling called to watch. These are timeless, so anytime that you are feeling the need to tune in and watch this or any of the other ones would be a good time for you. So let's get started. I'm just going to be checking in to see what Spirit and the Divine have as far as messages. Spirit, please show us what messages are needing to be delivered today. Please show us what's needing to be revealed right now. Okay, first card to come up. I'm actually going to move this camera here as well. Owl, follow your intuition. So for this specifically, if some of you are feeling like you have an instinct or you have insights into something, a situation that is going on, this is just letting you know that you can trust, not only trust your intuition, but you're also being called to follow it. I do feel like someone as well is seeking advice from others, seeking advice from outside sources. And that normally can be a good thing, but in this case, the reason that I feel you're being called to consult with yourself is because you're needing to deepen and strengthen that connection that you have to the divine. And the way that you do that is actually through yourself, through your intuition, connecting with your higher selves, the parts of you that have that infinite knowledge and wisdom that comes from past life experience that you've garnered from being on the other side, being in the spirit world. And the reason you're needing to do this is because once you start to trust and follow your intuition, you'll be able to do that more going forward. And when you do that, it's like you realize that life is just so infinitely beautiful and you really can do no wrong. Whenever you're trusting what you're feeling innately, that's always going to be the best thing for you, even if the result doesn't feel like it in the moment. Let's see, Spirit, what else can you tell us? What can you tell us about following intuition? So you're like really jumping out today. The next, whom do you need to forgive? As you release old angers or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. So this may specifically pertain to some of you needing to forgive others. This could be in relationships, this could be familial, this could be a coworker. Really just take this how it fits for you, if it should happen to fit. But for the majority of you, I do feel like this is actually needing to forgive self. And sometimes we need to forgive self, not for situations that we get into or situations that we call into our life, but forgiving ourselves for how we handle things, or perhaps for staying in a situation too long that doesn't serve us or that we know we're not meant to be in. So you're really being called here to make peace with whatever has happened in the past. And you know, when you think of forgiveness, forgiveness is always something that's already happened. It's never anything that's coming up. When we're needing to forgive, it's something that's in the past. And a lot of times just, you know, making peace with it by reminding yourself, okay, that was then and this is now, and I can create something different going forward, and here's how I'm going to do that. And that's one of the ways that you can forgive. And also something I found to be really beneficial when it comes to forgiveness, especially when it's someone that I'm having a hard time forgiving, you know, you can create what you decide. What is forgiveness to you? Like, what does it mean to you? It does not have to be the definition that most people think of forgiveness as. It can be what forgiveness means to you and what that looks like for you right now. And again, just making sure to put yourself first in anything you're doing, especially when it comes to forgiveness. You want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the driver's seat and giving, you know, directive on that, because it's really your journey and you wanting peace. And you'll know when you do follow your intuition what it takes for you to get to that place of peace. Spirit, whatever messages are we needing to see today? You know, actually, I'm going to turn my fan down because it's like making the candle blow crazy. Just 1 second. Okay, and I already had another card come out, so let's pull that one. Daughter. The answer to your question involves your daughter. So for those of you that should happen to have a daughter, you'll know what this means. This should resonate with you, and you'll know in what regard. And for some of you, it may have to do with the safety of your daughter. I've been feeling like perhaps you have a daughter who is making choices that you're perceiving as being reckless, I don't feel like this is a younger energy daughter. I do feel like this is an older daughter, perhaps an adult daughter for some of you. And you may have a strained relationship with this daughter, or you may be a daughter who has a strained relationship with your own mother. And maybe you're needing forgiveness there. Guys, take that how it resonates. If that pertains to you, you'll know specifically what that is in regard to. For someone, I have to say too, I am feeling like I feel like there's loss of connection, or like I don't have the opportunity. I don't have the opportunity to forgive. I don't have the opportunity to make peace with this person, this situation, what's happened. You do not need the other person present, available, willing, interacting, engaging in order to actually forgive. You can release and still feel the release, because there's an energy exchange that happens when we forgive. So that energy, when you release it, it goes back to that person, wherever they're at, even if they're still here, or if they are departed and on the other side. And I'm mentioning that because some of you, and I feel like this is only going to be like a small amount of you are feeling like, well, how am I supposed to forgive? I never got to have it out with them, or say my piece, or say what I wanted, release what I needed to. And that was so important to me. You can still have your voice, and you can still release in a way that's meaningful for you. You can speak to this person aloud as if they were right in front of you. I've done it countless times. And, it can take a while, but the amount of time that it will take is dependent on your belief in the actual process, and your belief in the ability of this to actually give you relief and release. Okay, Spirit, what else do you have for us? Spirit, what else can you tell us? Well, I had two come out that time. Okay, and they both like flew opposite ends. Sun came up as well. So some of you, I feel like this might even be someone specific, might really be suffering as a mother. Perhaps you have a son and a daughter, and you're needing to forgive self. If you're feeling like you've got shortcomings as a parent, welcome to parenthood. I think that is pretty much the norm for anyone. If you're a parent, you're going to be with regret, guaranteed. That's just the nature of the beast that comes with the territory. But also this says your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. I'm going to put the cards down. So this might be, if perhaps you have a son who is acting recklessly. Again, you might have a daughter acting recklessly. If you're feeling worried, just know that they're protected. The divine watches over them. For others of you, I actually am feeling like this sun energy, it might be someone who is just a friend, a family friend. This is so weird, but this could actually even be your partner if you're feeling like they're like really adolescent, immature in thinking. Perhaps they have some reckless behaviors that they're engaging in. The next that came out is admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire. So this is really just a call to check in with yourself and get very clear on what it is that you're wanting, what it is you're wanting to call into your life. And this can be in one area of life. This could be comprehensive for every single area of life. But I feel like specifically for the majority of you, this is just going to be one area of life where you're wanting to make changes or call in something different. But in order to do that, you need to get very clear on what you're feeling and what you truly desire, right? Because you can't even put in the request for what it is that you're wanting and get on that emotional wavelength of visualizing and creating until you're absolutely certain, with as vivid detail as you can imagine, what it is that you're wanting to create and call in. So a good way to do that, I would really encourage you when it comes to manifesting and the things that you're wanting to create, put down what it is that you're wanting. Write it out on paper, as detailed as you possibly can. So for example, if you're wanting to call in, I don't know, let's say some of you are looking for a new home. You don't necessarily have to know the details of what that new home will look like, but it will be beneficial to you to pull in as many senses to that visualization as possible. So write down, what do you want to be feeling when you're in that home? What would you like to be doing while you're in the home? What types of fabrics and things aesthetically, as far as furnishings, what would you like to have in the home? And it can be as detailed as you like. And if I say that you don't have to picture exactly what the home would look like, because for some of you, I know details can be hard, but it's more important that you get into the emotion of what it will feel like. What do you sense when you're in that space of having called in this dream home that you're wanting? and write that down in as vivid detail as you can. And then that's what you'll focus on. But in order to do that, you first have to know what it is that you're wanting and get very clear on what you're wanting. Okay. Spirit, what other messages do you have for us today? Again, 2 came out. So we have 2-card day. 2 come out each time. I'll take them both. Sensuality. Express your sensuality. So I feel like this is going to pertain to everyone. And sensuality is not necessarily sexuality. Sensuality is sensing things, like just like what I was talking about, to create, visualize. You have to pull in and engage as many senses as possible. You can live a very sensual life. You're being called to tap into your sensual side, because your sensuality, especially for those of you that are females, the divine feminine, that's one of your most beautiful gifts. And when you are tapped into your sensuality, that's one of the greatest tools that you have access to for creating things in the material world, in the physical world that you're wanting to see. You know, I myself, I live a really sensual life, and sensuality, it just means, you know, I try to really connect to what I'm doing as much as I can. I try to, you know, like with the candles and things, like I set the mood just for myself. I make it as nice as I can for myself. I really enjoy, you know, when I'm eating food, I like to listen to music. I like to, you know, dance and just tap into just that inner place of me that's able to create and be expressive. And, you know, just doing things that are fulfilling to you on a sensual level, you know, sensory engagement. That's what sensuality is. And you're being called to express that. The more you express and embrace that, the closer you are to your truest self. And when you are a reflection in your outer world of the truest self in your inner world, that's really when you can begin to create things at a rapid rate. The next thing that's come out is confrontation. Pick your battles wisely. So for this specifically, I'm coming up, there's an excerpt from, I can't remember if it's a book or, I don't know, it's a quote or something. Oh, I wish I could remember it, but it's popping in my head, like oddly enough, even though I can't remember. It's like something like the warrior who fights no one wins the most battles, or something like that. But essentially in this, I just am feeling like there might be a confrontation that you're feeling called to or pulled to, but it's something you don't need to engage in because it's just a non-issue. I know that might sound weird for some of you, but for those of you that this pertains to, you'll know exactly what it is and who it's in regard to. It's in someone that's really like looking to be argumentative, looking for a fight, looking for a confrontation where there are no issues. Someone that is like wanting to wrestle up an issue that does not exist, is not a thing. And the only way that you're going to win that battle is to not engage, right? Like if you want to win a war, I know there was a battle before where the way that the battle ended was one side actually just put down all their weapons. No one's going to fight someone who's not ready to fight. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to enter, you know, just with calm intentions, or just not engage at all. You don't really need to engage this person. And it takes a lot of energy to engage with people that are combative and always wanting to be argumentative. And the thing is, you know, you can have disagreements in life and you can have conversations that are heavy, but they don't have to be confrontational. So if you're dealing with someone who is confrontational and wanting an argument and looking for that, the best way that you're going to be able to handle that, you don't want to keep engaging because that will just cause escalation. Just, you know, surrender, and you surrender by withdrawing yourself completely. Okay, let's see what else. Spirit, what other messages do you have for us today? What messages are those watching needing to see? All that time. Spirit, what other messages are you needing to see? Please show us your messages. God, guide, spirit. Okay. Legends. Learn from those who have gone before you. So for this, you're being called to really just seek out, this could be a legend in the form of a mentor, but for most of you, I do feel like this is actually learning from those who've gone before you. This is in regards to ancestors. So perhaps if you have an elder that is still living that you can go to or consult, this could be on the confrontational person. This could be on the issue that you're, of forgiveness. This could be dealing with the son or daughter for those of you. If you're needing assistance with any interpersonal relationships, you certainly, I'm feeling like you have someone around you that you know would be a good confidant, and also someone who is a sound resource of information to you because they've gone through the same and they have a breadth of knowledge specifically in this area, what you're needing to go through or what you're working on or working toward. So you're being called to really, you don't need to find that person, you'll know who they are, but you're being called to go to them. They're there for you and they can offer you that guidance and assistance that you're needing. And I think it'll be good for you to do that as well, because you'll get the validation that all along, you could have trusted your intuition. I feel like the advice this person will give you is going to be synonymous and mirror that which you were already innately feeling. Anyway. Let's do this. Pull from this deck too. Spirit, what else can I show us? Oh, I'm really jumping. Oh, two, and these were stuck together. Okay, that's interesting because these were stuck together and both came out. I told you it was like a 2-night or doubles night. I don't know, for some reason. Music for manifesting. To manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. That's interesting. Music is really great because it helps things, I think, get embedded into the subconscious mind more quickly. But something I would encourage you to do as well, especially if you have like a passion for a certain type of music or a certain instrument, channel that energy while you're visualizing or trying to manifest. Something that I do, because I love dancing. So when I'm dancing, I will actually focus on what I'm trying to create. I will think about it and visualize it, and I put all that energy, that creative energy that's being called up. And dancing is a very sensory thing anyway, so it's, you're tapping into sensuality, and I just imagine that energy moving up through my body, calling what I want here in the physical world to see manifested, into my life right now. And oh my gosh, I love doing that. And it's so great because when you listen to music that you love, or you do something you're passionate about, especially where movement is concerned, you're on like one of the highest frequencies that you can be on here in this life. It's joy, it's love, passion. You're working with higher vibrations, and that's what it takes. Those higher vibrations and higher frequencies, that's what it takes to call in what you're wanting to create. Also, that came out. And I love that these two came out together, because this deck, this whole deck's not about prosperity. It's a really, it's a really varied topic deck. Waves of prosperity. New abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. So then something you can do while you're listening to that music or while you're dancing, just imagine those blessings just washing over you, coming over you. And this prosperity and abundance, this does not have to be, this does not have to be monetary. This could be abundance of love, time with family, connection, abundance of time for the passions that, you're wanting to spend more time indulging in. You decide what abundance is for you, what prosperity is for you, what you're wanting to call in. But just know that you're blessed, you're being guided. Everything that you want, just know it's already there for you. It already exists. The only thing that will keep you from seeing these things in your reality is your belief in your deservability of them. And you are so deserving. It's your birthright to have access to these things, to get to experience them while you're here in the physical world. It's what we come here for. Let's see what else. Spirit, what else do you have for us today? What messages are we needing to see today? It's so weird to keep getting to again, too. And these are weird, but this is what happened. Like, this is what I love about Spirit, though. The most random things will happen. Again, like this deck, so many different topics, but these are coming out like in doubles for some reason. And they're mirroring each other, kind of. Positive energy and staying optimistic. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. Surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negative thinking. So this is just a call for you to just, stay the course. Know that everything is so close. If you're feeling like quitting, now is not the time. And also, just be careful with what you're subjecting yourself to. You want to be interacting with positive people. Avoid anything that's negative. And the way to do that is not to focus on avoiding, but focus on what you're calling in. Spend more time replacing those negative thoughts with positive things. Do things that are positive, feel positive, listen to positive music. Do things that make you excited. Do things that you're passionate about. Engage in activities that make you happy, joyful. Watch things that are funny or perhaps inspiring or heart-lifting instead of, you know, watching the news or watching like a horror film or something that is not leaving you feeling high vibrational. Actually, put that one up there. Oops. Cards don't want to stay up. I need to get a better setup for this, but for right now, this will do. Okay. I'm actually going to pull as well self-care and then some random cards. So let's see what you can do as far as actual steps to self-care. Ooh, that one came out really quick. I can't, again, totally different deck. Music for manifesting, and then music came out. And you guys saw that card like sprinting. It really, really like flew out of the deck. It jumped out of the deck. I'll just put those down. Jumped out of the deck. Music. Music can heal wounds that medicine cannot touch. And you guys already know this. Music is so healing, but specifically looking at different hertz and frequencies that are known to be healing to the body. If you're needing a part of the body healed, if you're needing a chakra healed, look up what hertz are equivalent to that and listen to those types of music. Also be very careful, you know, mainstream music. Check out the frequencies and hertz on most of the music on the radio. You know, it's really negatively frequencied, and it just doesn't elevate. It doesn't leave you feeling good, even if it's got like a little bit of an addictive kind of fun tune or sticks like in your head. You know, it's not all making you feel good. A lot of the music's out that can really feed into lower vibrational energies, lower vibrational emotions, depression, things like that. I'm really glad that came out. I love that. I love when that's why one of the reasons that I love working with different decks, because almost every single reading I do, it doesn't matter who it's for, you know, I'll get mirrors of the same messages, you know, similar messages throughout a few decks. And that's so great, because that's really what it takes to have, you know, that confidence in the divine. And some of you, I know you're needing that validation more than once. So that's why, you know, that's why it happens like that. Okay, Spirit, what other self-care messages can you give us? Next one to come out, lie or truth. Use discernment. See things for what they really are, not for what you want them to be. So it's important to be optimistic, even though we're seeing that there, and this might feel contradictory, but it's not. This is in regard to a situation, not what hasn't been created, but what's already laying in front of you. Some of you are being called to get out of like that fallacy or willful thinking, wishful thinking of something, and you need to see something very clear, not through rose-colored glasses, 20/20 vision, crystal clear, unbiased for what it is. And you'll know what this situation is. And this might be in regard to this person we had mentioned earlier with the confrontation. Spirit, what other self-care messages do you have? Okay, I jumped out. Be stronger than your excuses. Drop the excuses. When you drop your excuses, you will start seeing results. So for those of you who are, you know, perhaps saying or thinking to yourself, well, I don't have time for forgiveness, or I don't have time to listen to music, or I don't have time for sensuality or anything leisure, those are excuses. Drop that. Anything that you're wanting, your excuses are going to keep you from getting those things. You have to be disciplined. You have to be committed. Not to the process of creating what you want, but to the process of evolution of self, growth of self, ascension of self. You have to know that you are worth it. Again, it's your birthright. It's your birthright to have what you're wanting, what you dream about. You're not supposed to die with your dreams still being dreams. You know, when you leave this world, ideally, you should leave with your dreams just having been the things that you did. Okay, what other self-care messages? Spirit, what other self-care message do you have for us today? Spirit, what other self-care message? Ooh, we had a couple that time. We had 3 come out that time. I will take them all. The first is home. Home needing TLC. Give your home some attention. Redecorate, clean it, or sage it. Or I would say all of the above. Whatever you're feeling you need to do. If you need to switch things up. For some of you, I'm definitely feeling like you're needing to restructure furniture and move things around. It's important to do that because when you do that, especially if you've had things a certain way for a very long time, you know, switching up the aesthetic of your home, it changes how it looks, it changes how it feels. New energy calls in new experiences. Also, you know, changing how your home looks can give you new perspective. Wake up early. This actually came out, I think it was just yesterday on a daily self-care read, which I didn't do one today. That's why I'm including these right now. But so if you're someone who has watched that other video as well, you're getting this, again, the reaffirmation. You're needing to see things more than once. This is that validation, that confirmation. Again, you're needing to wake up early. Aim to wake up earlier in the morning to chase your dreams. Drop the excuse. Be stronger than the excuse for why you can't. Give yourself the reasons why you will. Not the reasons why you can't or it's difficult, but the reasons why you absolutely will. And it can be challenging, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I myself do, and I just started doing this. I'm like, I don't know, it's been a few months now, but it was very challenging at first. So I'd encourage you, get an accountability partner, have someone that you can call in the morning or someone that calls you. Do whatever it takes to wake up early. For me, if I'm left to my own vices, I'm gonna sleep in, especially since like I have a little dog and she's always like so cozy sleeping and snoring and cuddling, and I just want to stay in bed and laze about and sleep in. So what works for me, I have a friend in the neighborhood and we both wake up early and we go walking every single morning. So having that to look forward to is something I enjoy. And now on the days where we don't have that, like I'm really longing for it and I can't wait till the next morning. So having something to look forward to will really help you. But ideally, I'd say accountability partners, that's the easiest way to make that change. The next that came out was setting boundaries. Setting boundaries in your life is a great way to put yourself first. Now, these boundaries can be to those around you or those you interact with, or these can be boundaries you set for yourself. Like a boundary could be, I'm going to go to bed early. I'm gonna, turn off the phone 3 hours before I get in bed. I'm gonna get in bed and I'm just going to try to meditate so I fall asleep so I can wake up early. That would be a boundary you're setting for yourself. This person that is confrontational, just setting the boundary with yourself. And boundaries are not things you need to explicitly explain, describe, or say to other people. This has to do with you and yourself. You set the boundary internally and you're the one responsible for reinforcing it. So setting the boundary within yourself that you're not going to engage this person that you know is confrontational, and then following through with that would be a good boundary, a boundary that you're needing right now. The son and daughter that came up, you may need to set boundaries with them. Boundaries as a parent, what you will and won't do as a parent. What you will and won't do for your children, regardless of what demands they may be putting on you or what they're, telling you they need from you. I'm gonna pull some of these. One other message, Spirit. You're stepping into a brand new chapter. This is kind of, it might sound like a little bit of a cliche thing, and it kind of is. We're always coming into a new chapter. Really, each day is a new chapter. But for some of you, I am feeling like there's been a pattern or perhaps something that you've been in for a really long time, perhaps feeling like a dark night of the soul even, and just thinking, my gosh, when is this going to end? I'm still in it. It's been so long. And whoever this is pertaining to, this is not months. I feel like you're in a cycle that you've been in for years and you're like, my God, when will this end? It's ending now. And the reason that it's ending, it's not because, it was supposed to have this long of a life cycle. It's ending now because you're finally putting in the work. You're changing. You're evolving. You're growing. You're putting the work into self. And once that evolution starts to happen, you start to see change in the world around you. So just know that, because if you're getting doubtful or like, gosh, I really hope I'm coming out of this. I hope this isn't a false start or a false new chapter. This is real. You really are coming into it. You're coming into a good time. And the way that you come into that is by coming into self, tapping into your sensuality, doing things that make you feel good, dropping the excuses, setting boundaries, committing to yourself, your dreams, goals, wants, needs, and desires. Okay, Spirit, what else do? That one jumped right out. A detour is available to you. A detour is available to you right now that can be a benefit. So for those of you that are leery of shortcuts or feel like shortcuts always yield a dead end or chaos or never work out right, this is letting you know that that's not the case here. So if there's something that you are perhaps mulling over, or someone said, hey, if you do it this way, it's a lot quicker. If you're feeling leery or apprehensive about it, just know that this is something you can actually trust. You can actually take that detour and things can be beneficial to you. Also knowing that some of the things I've shared today, these are detours to getting to what you want. Creating a nice home space, waking up early, setting boundaries, tapping into your sensuality, listening to that music, consulting other people who have been through similar circumstances and situations, staying optimistic, using discernment. Those are the things that will quickly call in what you're wanting. How quickly will it call in what you're wanting? Well, that's determinant upon you. It's determinant upon how committed you are and how consistent you are. The more you do it, the quicker this happens. I'm going to pull, I think, just one more of these and we'll be done. Spirit, what one last message do you have for us today? Spirit, what's the last thing we're needing to see today? Of course, came out in 2 doubles. So I don't know if some of you are, I don't know, there's something going on with the doubles. I don't know. That's interesting. Some of you might be in a cycle where you're seeing the same things twice, where you're like, this is the second time this has happened. I know there's a reason 2s are coming up. Perhaps you're someone who resonates with the number 2. You might be seeing 2s a lot. You may be seeing 2-2, 2-2-2 a lot. There's signs that things are moving. You're coming into a new phase. You're coming into a good time, a positive time. You will break free from all that no longer serves you. So this is just confirmation that, you stay on this path, stay the course, implement these things. Eventually, those things that no longer serve you, you'll break free. And the way you break free, guys, you don't break free by saying, I'm done with you. The way that you break free is by raising your frequency. You raise your energetic vibrational frequency. Those lower vibrational energies that are no longer a match to you, they cannot physically stay in your reality. This life is an energies game. We all have a measurable magnetic frequency energy emanating off of our bodies, and nothing that does not match your vibrational frequency can stay in your existence. So when you start to grow, you start to heal, you start to evolve, you start to work on cultivating and deepening connection to self, channeling from the divine, listening to messages from the divine, taking lead from your guides, from your ancestors, the spirit realm. It's like you don't even have to worry about calling in those energies anymore. They just won't come near you. And even if they do, it'll be a short-lived interaction. They won't be able to maintain the connection. Unless, of course, they're working on cells and they come up to where you're at. And the last card we're going to do, believing yourself and your ability to carry out your dream. Know that you have everything that you need within you. We already come here equipped with everything that we need. It's already inside of us. If you're watching this video, you're someone who is privy to this information. You're privy to this knowledge. That in and of itself is a blessing. So many people are so out of touch with the power and divinity that is within all of us. But if you're even open to readings like this, that means you're open to growing. You're open to learning. You're open to learning how these energies work and working with them in a way that's co-creating the life that you want. That is such a blessing. And knowing that the way your dreams are going to come to fruition is the most simple part of this, though it's difficult, but it's simplistic at the same time, is that belief in yourself. Know innately that you have the ability to create. You have the ability to call in these things. You will need help along the way. You do need to utilize tools like this. And you will also have to co-create with the divine. You have to co-create with the energies that are already here available to you. Ooh, no. So that's what I have for you guys today. I really hope that this resonated with you, whether it was entirely or in part. If it did, I would appreciate if you would leave a comment or at least a thumbs up. Perhaps if there's someone in your life that you feel like this would really help them and where they're at right now, if you want to share it with that person or send it to them, that I would appreciate as well. And wherever you guys are, whenever you should happen to be tuning in, from wherever you're tuning in, I hope that this video finds you all very well and healthy, and I will see you in the next reading.